Hello, everybody. Once again, here we are ready for another interview. My friend Colin Cripps accepted to be interviewed, and it's going to be an honor for me to introduce him to you. I hope you enjoy.
Este video es presentado por Avenida Digital. Avenida Digital te ayuda a digitalizar tu negocio. Si lo que buscas para tu agencia inmobiliaria es captación concreta de clientes potenciales, captación de propietarios o incremento sustancial de tus operaciones inmobiliarias, Avenida Digital tiene la solución. Avenida Digital hace que tu negocio inmobiliario no tenga techo.
Oh,
Turn it
there
on.
we go. I clicked it twice on accident.
Don't hide. How are you doing?
I'm good, Matthias. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Colin. How are you doing? How's life going?
Life's been crazy, but it's been good.
You're
It's been
back home,
exciting.
right? Because you've been traveling.
I was traveling, so I actually ended up moving over in the last couple months. So I'm in a new place right now.
Oh, really?
It's exciting, yeah.
Well, I know you a little bit,
Uh-huh.
but maybe people who's going to be watching the video, maybe they don't know. So let's start from the beginning.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So,
Oh,
well,
wait.
yeah,
I gotta
your hair
fix
is
my
not
hair.
right. Do something about that. No, I'm just kidding.
There we go. All right, I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
Yeah, you're gonna become viral. So no, just kidding. No.
Yeah, I gotta look good for it.
My
Gotta look good for this.
my audience is basically my students, so you're safe, don't worry. Yeah, they're nice, very nice people, you know.
I know. Yeah, I'm sure.
So let's see. Let's start from where we met, when we met. We met
Yeah,
here in Argentina, in
right.
San Pedro.
It's San Pedro.
Mhm.
San Pedro.
Now, how long ago that was? I'm not so sure.
I think it's
Uh,
been I
I
think
think
it's
it
been
was
5 years.
2018.
2018, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 5.5 years, I think,
That's
since we first
unbelievable.
met.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Crazy.
Yeah. And what have you been doing since you went back home after that time in Buenos Aires serving a
Yeah.
mission?
Hmm.
What have you been doing since then?
Yeah, so I went to Utah right after I left Argentina, where I started school at a university.
Mm-hmm.
And so
But
I've
you
been
you are
there.
not you are not originally from Utah.
No, I'm from Oregon originally.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
But you went to study in Utah.
I went to study in Utah,
What university?
Brigham Young University, BYU. Go
BYU.
Cougs.
That's good. And what were you studying? Or
I
were
was
you?
studying, yeah, I was studying in engineering,
Mm-hmm.
chemical engineering.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
I actually started studying before I went to Buenos Aires.
Uh-huh.
So going to Buenos Aires was like a little break,
Good.
little break from school. And then I came back in the last 4 years I've been in school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and so I just graduated in April.
I was going to ask you about that if you had already graduated or not. So you graduated already
Yeah, I
recently, this
graduated
year. That's
this
nice.
year. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Graduated in April, and then I went back out to Argentina to see Matthias.
That was a fun
And
time. Probably I'm gonna post a couple of pictures from the
sweet, yeah.
visit. Yeah. It was nice to see you again. I got to meet your
Yeah.
parents
Yes, he
and
did.
your brother.
And my younger brother, who's right now in Taiwan.
I was going to ask you because I remember he had just been called to serve a mission in Taiwan. So he's already there.
He's there. Yeah.
How is he doing?
He's there right now. He's doing pretty good. Today's actually his birthday, so
Just today?
just today, yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's doing well. I think learning Chinese has been a struggle, but
How is he
he's doing
coping
pretty
with
well.
that? Like, Did
I
he
think
train
he's,
before? Like, what was that like?
yeah, well, he studied a lot before he left.
Hmm.
So he knew quite a bit, but I mean, studying in school is a lot. I mean, unless you're studying every day,
Hmm.
it's it's a lot different when you actually go to a place to speak the language. So
Yeah.
I think it was pretty hard for him to go there. Um, but he seems to be doing well now. He's been there for like two
Hmm.
months.
Now that
And
he's immersed in the country, in the culture, and in the language, probably he's learning a lot faster now. And
right, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
yeah, I'm sure
100%.
I'm sure it's not the same learning Spanish or learning English, compared to learning Chinese. No, is it Chinese? Is that the language?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
right,
language.
right.
Mandarin.
Mandarin. Good.
Hmm.
And speaking about that, this is like the main topic, learning languages.
Right.
What was it like for you when you were assigned to serve in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, and then you made it here? How was that for you?
It was it was really frustrating.
It was?
It was frustrating at first. Well, just trying to
Okay.
learn Spanish
Uh-huh.
when
Yeah.
and like when I went to school, I took Spanish classes, so I knew some of the basics, some of
Hmm.
the basic words, but I was surprised when I came to Argentina. It was hard to understand anybody, so it was
Probably,
pretty frustrating.
probably it was like very different from what you had been
Uh-huh.
learning and practicing before
Right.
coming, like learning from school.
Yeah, I mean, I learned avocado was aguacate when I
And
came
then
to
you came
Argentina.
here,
And
and then you came here, and suddenly it was palta, right?
exactly,
And
yeah.
many things like that, I suppose. That was just
Right,
an
definitely.
example. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it was kind of frustrating, but I um I think it came pretty quickly. Um
I think that when we met, you were around a year in Argentina. You had been already, or maybe a little less. Could it be or no?
yeah, I had only been in Argentina
It seems like 7, 8 months, something like that, probably.
for 4.5 months.
Really?
Yeah.
When you made it to San Pedro?
Uh-huh.
Ah,
Yeah.
so you were quite new because what I remember, um, and I think I still have a video of that. When you were speaking in Spanish, and I mentioned this to you, that your pronunciation was so accurate. Like there were some typical sounds that are usually mispronounced, like the letter R, letter D, or T. Usually those are the sounds that
Yeah, that people struggle
give it
with.
away that you're not no that.
Right, yeah.
And you didn't struggle with those sounds. You sounded like quite natural, and I
Thank
remember
you.
telling you that.
Estamos acá en San Pedro. Woo!
Yeah, I do remember you telling me that. Yeah, I really like trying to sound just like Argentines, just like the people I was talking to. So it was kind of a fun game for me to try to speak exactly like the people I was talking to. So
Hmm.
that probably helped a little bit.
I think you did a pretty good job at that.
Thank you.
Yes. I am kind of obsessed about, sounds and pronunciation, and
Uh-huh.
sometimes a little too much. And recently I've been, considering more that maybe it's not so important that to sound exactly like, in this case, for example, me sounding like an American or you sounding like an Argentinian. That can be fun, but that should not be maybe the main goal, right? I think the main
Yeah.
goal should be able to communicate as clear as possible.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
if you can get to copy the sounds like exactly the same, well, that sounds amazing and it's interesting.
Right.
Um, but the most important thing is to have the ability to get your ideas across, communicate
Yeah.
basically. And you didn't
Yeah,
have any problems
definitely.
with that.
Yeah, it's funny because I mean, that's very true, especially because you go to any different place and everyone speaks with a different accent.
Mhm.
So that's the same. here, like right now I live in Tennessee,
Mhm.
which is kind of what we call the South in the United States.
That's where you're living now. So that's
That's
the
where I'm
movie you
living
were
now.
talking about,
Uh-huh.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yep.
That is in the south of the U.S.
Yep. It's in the South.
The southern
So,
accent, is like
yeah,
one of the most, I don't know, distinguishable, like the most
definitely.
noticeable, probably, right?
Yeah, definitely. Uh-huh.
I compare it like with our Cordobés, that sounds like stands out in a way. And probably
Yeah.
in the south of the US, there's a more typical uh, accent.
Right. No, yeah. It's definitely it's easy to tell when you're talking to someone from the South.
Hmm.
So
It sounds funny. I mean, it sounds good, you
it
know.
does sound funny. To me, it sounds funny, but to everyone here, it sounds normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like to have a reference, for the audience maybe listening to Woody from Toy Story,
Woody
like,
from Toy Story or Tow Mater from Cars, the movie Cars. I don't know if you're
oh no, I'm not so familiar with that movie. But
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Okay, but that's good. Maybe probably
Hmm.
people know.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
some people sound like that. I'm trying to think of another example.
Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Well, listening to country music,
Oh yeah.
probably,
Oh,
like,
definitely.
the performers, singers who sing country music, that is quite
Yeah,
representative of that area. So maybe
definitely. And
like
I
the movie,
actually right now I live pretty close to Nashville, which is kind of like the
the capital
center
of,
of country music.
exactly. Yeah. Do you
So,
like country music?
yeah,
Not so much.
I, I'll listen to it sometimes.
Mhm. Yeah.
I didn't really grow up listening to country music, so
Uh-huh.
I don't listen to it a lot, but
Well, speaking about music, we got to share the grand final of the Eurovision Song Contest here in my
that's
house
right.
together. That was fun while eating some ice
That
cream. That
was
was
fun.
perfect. That was a memorable day. It was simple, but the kind of thing that
Uh-huh.
I like, because I was able
Yeah.
to watch the show that I like, share it with you, and some ice cream.
And that was my first time watching Eurovision too.
Exactly.
The only other experience I had was from the movie with Will Ferrell.
Ah, right. Yes. You've seen the movie?
I've seen the movie.
That's a funny
So,
comedy.
so it
Yeah.
was cool to actually see the real event that the movie's based on.
You had seen that movie before watching the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah, I
Okay.
had.
All right. So you had an idea of what it was like.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's good. That is good. So now you're living in Tennessee, and are you working or you're still study? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I actually moved out here for a job
Hmm.
um, as an engineer. I work for a company that manufactures fiberglass.
Fiberglass. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That would
fiberglass.
be lana de vidrio. No, what would that be?
Fibra, puede ser
Fibra de
fibra
vidrio.
de vidrio, sí.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm okay. Yes, I'm sure that that's what it must be. We need to
yeah,
find out and maybe illustrate with a picture or something.
yeah.
So
I
we
can
know what we're
definitely
talking
find
about.
pictures.
Okay.
I can
Okay.
definitely find pictures.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, basically, um, like at the factory that I work at, we've got big furnaces that melt clay, sand, a lot of other materials,
Uh-huh.
and into glass, right? We make glass
Uh-huh.
in a furnace and it comes out through really tiny holes,
Uh-huh.
and that's how it comes out as fiberglass.
And then that is used for what kind of things?
So fiberglass, yeah, people use it for um,
Isolation?
all
No,
sorts of things.
insulation.
It could be, yeah. So
What is the
fiberglass is
word?
used for insulation.
Insulation. I want to say it right.
Mm, Insulation, yeah.
Insulation. Yes. Which
Yeah,
is
that's
like
one use.
aislamiento, just in case. All right.
Insulation, I mean, people also make a lot of the fiberglass that my company makes goes towards shingles on roofs of
Okay.
houses.
Okay. All right. What is the word again? The thing on the roof?
Shingles. How do you say
Shingles.
that in Spanish?
Because yeah, on my last interview, we were looking at a presentation and we were talking about tiles, and I said
Oh,
tiles, and I even, we could see the word written tiles. And my friend said, we call it shingles here, where I live. Now you're
oh,
just using
really?
the same word. Yeah. Probably they should re-edit that presentation and write shingles. I don't know. For me, it was
Yeah.
tiles. I just assumed it would be tiles. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I know that a shingle is a type of tile, I would say, right? Is that right?
Right. Yeah, kind of.
Kind of.
It's like
What is the difference? The material?
yeah, the material, like a shingle's more flexible,
Okay.
more
Mm,
flexible. Tile, when I think of tile's kind of like a hard, like a clay almost, like a hardened
right.
clay or ceramic.
Exactly what you see on the floor,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Exactly. And would it be the same word for what you have, for example, in a bathroom? Those
Yeah.
squares,
Yeah, the little
those are
squares in the
tiles too.
bathroom,
All right.
those are
Yes.
tiles.
Okay.
How do you say tiles in Spanish?
Oh, okay. The thing is that for the ones we would use on the wall in the bathroom, for example, that would be azulejos,
Azulejos. Okay.
which you could also have in the kitchen. But then on the floor, you don't have azulejos on the floor.
Okay.
Those would be called, forgot the word. um, no son baldosas is like on the sidewalk. Cerámicos,
Cerámicos.
I think. I think it's
Okay.
cerámicos. I'm not so sure. There must be another
Tiene
word for that.
sentido.
Cerámicos sounds
Cerámicos.
more like the material. Um, Piso de cerámicos. Yes, I think that's the word. But mosaicos is they look more like made of, it's almost like glass. That's why we use them in the kitchen or in the bathroom. And on the floor, it's a different kind of material.
Right.
It's
Yeah, that
different.
makes sense.
Yes, that's why we call them differently. But then on the roof, if you think of those things that you put one next to the other, we call them tejas. And that is the
Tejas.
word that I was looking for when I wrote tiles also for that. But probably I
Oh,
should
okay.
change it to shingles. But the the
Tejas.
the, the ones
Yeah,
that
it
we
kind of
use
sounds like.
here, there can be a different material, but they are hard. And the classic ones are kind of like orange, like that, like made of the same material as bricks,
Oh,
color.
okay. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
remember seeing those while I was there. Yeah.
But would you call those shingles too, or not?
No, I wouldn't
Probably
call
not.
those shingles.
Okay, so clearly you use something different,
Yeah.
the different kind of material, especially if you said that
Yeah.
it's kind of flexible.
So
I
the
can.
shingles we use, they're thin. Um, they're thin and they can be waterproof, which is why we
Right.
use them.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, thin and flexible. I'll have to show you some pictures.
But they are not
The,
like curved like this,
no,
they
they're
are
flat.
square.
They're
They're
flat
flat.
squares. And we
Okay.
kind of stack them on top of each other on our roofs.
Okay. Yeah, now I think I'm picturing what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, anyways, I don't know much about construction, but I'm just based on what I see, the images I've seen in real life, in person, and maybe on pictures or movies. Oh,
Right.
well, so some of the material, one of the things that you do with this fiberglass is that could be one of the things. This
Yeah.
right.
That would be one of the things. People also use fiberglass for making like the outsides of cars,
Ah, right. Okay. El,
fiberglass, or bathtubs as well.
uh-huh. Exactly.
Yeah, when you add like a resin or a plastic to fiberglass,
Mm-hmm.
it makes it a really strong material.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of look at it and think, oh, it looks like plastic,
Uh-huh.
but really underneath it's like there's fiberglass under there, and it
Exactly.
makes it a durable material that'll last a long time.
But and yet a little bit flexible at the same time while resistant. Is that right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Uh-huh.
If you, yeah, you can make it flexible depending on how much fiberglass you have
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
mixed in with whatever plastic you're using,
Exactly.
or how kind of straight the fibers are. If the
Uh-huh.
fibers are more straight and long,
Mm-hmm.
they'll be a little more sturdy. But
Uh-huh.
if you're just kind of mixed in a lot of fibers with no organization,
Mm-hmm.
then they'll be more flexible.
Exactly. Yes. Well, so that's where you're working now. That's why you moved to Tennessee, because you're working in that. Is that a factory, or what would you call it? Is it some kind of
Yeah.
factory? It
Yeah,
is.
it's a factory.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Good. Good. And you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
Awesome.
fun. It's been
That's
cool.
amazing. You have more siblings, right? Besides Wolf is his name, right?
Wolf.
The one in Taiwan right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I do have more. I've got so I got three younger brothers, including Wolf,
Mm-hmm.
who you met,
Yes.
and Kyle, who you know
We
on
never met in
Instagram.
person, but yeah, we've chatted a few times. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then I've got a brother, Galen, who's right in between Kyle and Wolf.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then I have two older sisters.
Wow. Big
Yeah, so it's
family.
a big family.
Your
Yep.
sisters are older than you? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right. So you're third, third child?
Right. I'm the third child.
That's right. Good. Good. And now, are you living by yourself? You have a roommate,
Right.
something?
Right now I'm living by myself. Yeah.
Wow, so much peace.
It's nice. In college, I was living with like sometimes five other people in the same
Really?
apartment, which was
Uh-huh.
fun. It was a
I
lot of
bet.
fun, but
Uh-huh.
um,
I bet that was a
it's
lot of fun. Going from that to living by yourself, I suppose the big change,
it
right?
is a big change. Yeah.
Don't you miss being with more people sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes I do, but it's nice to have room in the refrigerator
Oh,
now.
yeah. And have
It's
the
nice to
control
have,
of everything.
right. It's nice to not come home to a dirty apartment all the time.
Oh, that's
So,
nice.
but
That's
yeah,
good.
sometimes I do miss
Yeah,
living with other people.
that is good. That is good. Hey, are you are you willing to accept a little challenge about Spanish?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I chose a presentation, which I'm going to show you now.
Okay.
In this case, the topic is home appliances.
Oh,
And let's see if you would
uh-oh.
recognize what they're called in Spanish. It's very
Okay.
specific, I know, but I don't know. Let's give it a try and see how it goes. Is that okay?
Okay.
Right.
We'll try. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's see.
Vámonos.
Okay, here we go. Electrodomésticos is the word in Spanish.
Oh no,
Okay.
this one's gonna be
Oh,
the
no.
hardest.
Just the title is kind of scary.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do you call that?
Ooh. Secador de pelo.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that. That was a guess.
Yeah, good. Very good. That's a good start. It's a very good start. What is that?
Ooh. Hmm. It's a tough one. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on this one.
No. The word has to do with liquid, with the word liquid.
Un liquidor.
Almost. Look,
Liquidora.
licuadora.
Licuadora.
Licuadora. Say it again.
Licuadora.
That's what I'm talking about. Your pronunciation is amazing.
Well, I didn't know the word,
Well, you can
so
pronounce
it
it.
doesn't count.
What is this?
Una, una mezcladora.
It could be
Puede
called
ser.
that, but it's more well known as,
Batidora.
yeah,
¿Qué? What?
se conoce más como batidora. Yo creo que
Batidora.
es muy probable que varias de estas cosas se llamen diferentes en otras provincias o en otros países. Si alguien tiene opinión, puede escribirlo como comentario, pero por lo menos
Ujú.
yo estoy escribiendo cómo lo llamamos donde yo vivo, ¿no?
¿Dónde están ustedes? Sí.
Al menos en Buenos Aires, sí. Bueno, batidora.
Ok. Una lavarropa.
Muy bien. Lavarropas.
Lavarropas.
Excelente la R.
Lavarropas. ¿Sí?
Perfecto,
Así
perfecto.
se dice. Buenísimo.
Sí.
Una refrigerador.
Nosotros lo decimos de una manera mucho más sencilla. Acá por lo menos. Refrigerador es correcto, pero no solemos usar esa palabra.
A ver. La refri.
La re- El refri. En otros países le dicen la nevera también.
La
La
nevera.
nevera. ¿Te suena o
Ok.
no? Para nosotros es
No.
simplemente heladera.
Heladera.
Sí, heladera.
But heladera, would that just be for the freezer?
No, no.
It's for
Heladera
both.
es el aparato.
Para los
Y
dos. Ok.
después adentro tiene un sector que es el freezer. Sí.
Oh, ok.
Ujú. También uno puede tener un freezer, o sea, que sea
Freezer.
solamente freezer, claro.
Ok. Una compu.
Una compu. ¿Y qué tipo de compu? Dice.
A ver. Una
Como dentro de lo que son las computers, eso serían como
ajá,
laptop.
laptop, sí. A
Creo que
ver.
yo puse computadora nomás,
Computadora.
pero
Una.
eso es muy general.
Ujú.
Esta que es portátil, es curioso, porque nosotros le decimos notebook.
Oh, ¿en serio?
Es una computadora, pero esta que es portátil le decimos notebook, que es una
Notebook.
palabra en inglés, pero que no es generalmente la palabra en inglés que ustedes usan,
Yeah.
porque ustedes dicen laptop, ¿no? Es muy curioso.
Qué raro,
Pero
sí.
sí. Ujú. Estaba pensando, en España le dicen ordenador a la computadora.
Ordenador.
Sí. Ujú.
Cuando quieren decir laptop,
Creo
dicen,
que, me parece que cualquier computadora es un ordenador,
ok.
no, no solo la portátil. Creo que es ordenador portátil cuando es un laptop, me parece. Bueno, ¿y esto?
A ver. Déjame pensar un segundo.
Si hace frío, hay que prender. Lo tenés
¿Sí?
que haber nombrado seguramente mientras estabas en Argentina, porque en invierno, el
Invierno.
invierno puede ser muy frío, mucha humedad acá.
Es como calenta. Sé que
Ca-
calenta, pero no sé si
Calienta,
calienta.
sí. El verbo
Una.
calentar, pero decimos esto calienta.
Ah, ok.
Calienta el ambiente, por
Calienta.
ejemplo. Pero el nombre
Una.
no tiene nada que ver con calentar, ¿eh? No es como heater en inglés.
Ah, sí.
Le decimos estufa.
Estufa. Ok.
¿Te suena ahora? ¿Te parece
Sí.
conocido?
Sí,
Estufa.
suena ahora, sí.
Sí. También con esto puede haber discrepancias o, no sé, que se les llamen diferente en otros lugares.
Sí, yo
Insisto,
quería decir como calentador, pero no sé si.
no, si me nombras un calentador, yo voy a pensar en algo que sirve para calentar comida o algo
Oh, ok.
así. Ujú. ¿Y esto? Tenés que
Quiero
saberla, ¿no?
decir el fan.
El fan. El fano.
El fano. No. A ver. No sé. Tampoco lo sé.
No. La palabra tiene que ver con wind en español.
Okay.
La raíz tiene que ver con wind. ¿Cómo se dice wind?
Viento.
Viento. Bueno, a partir de la palabra viento decimos
Ventidor.
ventilador.
Ventilador.
Claro.
Ah,
Está el ventilador y después simplemente ventilador de techo. ¿Entendés? Ventilador de techo, o sea. Que en
wow.
inglés serían fan and ceiling fan, basically, ¿no? Pero bueno. A ver,
Un microondas.
muy bien.
Yeah, that one I know.
Microondas. That
That
one I
one I
know.
use. That one
¿Y
I use.
esto? Uy, con esto hay un tema.
A ver. Tiene un horno, ¿no? Lo
Sí,
de abajo es un
sí.
horno.
Ajá.
A ver, y
Es el horno, lo de abajo. Y arriba tenemos las hornallas, que también
hornallas.
hornalla deriva de la palabra horno.
Ok.
Hornallas, es como si fueran hornitos chiquitos. Creo que en algunos lugares le dicen estufa, como the heater, estufa a la parte de arriba, no, no nosotros. Ahora, tengo una pregunta para vos. ¿Cómo le llamás a esto, a este aparato en inglés? ¿Cómo le decís vos?
Como el aparato entero.
Todo. Si te
Ah,
compras esto, si me compré, que I bought
acá decimos oven.
oven, hablando de,
Oven nomás
ok,
para todo. Porque todos tienen los, ¿cómo es? Hornillos. ¿O cómo se?
hornallas, hornallas,
Hornallas.
sí.
Todos tienen hornallas arriba, así que
Ajá,
siempre
entonces decís que compras
decimos
un horno.
un
No
horno.
dirías, o sea, un oven.
Ajá.
No dirías que compraste un stove. Quizás, no sé. Me parece que es el tipo de
Porque
cosa que
cuando,
algunas personas sí, otros no, en algún lugar sí. ¿No? ¿Puede ser?
sí, o sea, es que sí, cuando estoy hablando de la cosa entera,
Ujú.
siempre digo el horno.
Ok, the oven.
Pero sí, se puede comprar como la, lo de arriba separado, ¿sí?
Ahí está el
Pero,
punto. Y es muy común en países como el tuyo que estas cosas sean dos cosas separadas. Por un lado, tener un stove y por otro lado,
ujú.
tener un oven.
Sí, sí,
Entonces es
sí.
lógico que se refieran a esto con dos nombres, porque son dos cosas separadas en muchos de los casos, quizás la mayoría de los casos. Ahora, en
Ya,
español, fíjate cómo se llama, ay, para nosotros por lo menos. Es una cocina,
una
igual
cocina.
que kitchen.
Ok.
O sea, tengo una cocina en la cocina. ¿Se entiende? Qué loco, ¿no?
Sí,
Bueno,
bueno.
bueno, yo creo que pasaste bastante bien la prueba, dentro de todo, pero
No creo, no
especialmente,
creo.
especialmente porque pronuncias súper bien y eso es muy, muy, muy admirable.
Hay que practicar un poco más, parece, ¿no?
Esto era muy específico también. Son elementos, está bien que son elementos conocidos, son elementos con los que convivimos generalmente,
Ajá.
pero no los nombramos todo el tiempo, quizás,
Sí, sí,
¿no?
sí.
Entonces es normal no saberlos o confundirlos o incluso que tardemos en recordar cómo se llaman.
Oh,
¿Están?
ya.
También para que mis alumnos vean que a veces sí hemos estudiado el nombre de estas cosas, pero después no lo recuerdan, le pasa a todo el mundo, ¿no?
Sí,
Como le
para
pasó a
mí
vos y
eso
le pasa a
pasa
todos.
siempre.
Absolutamente. Así que bien. Estás aprobado.
Bueno, gracias.
Totalmente. Going back to English, but I ask all of my friends and everybody who accepts to have an interview like this one. I asked them to share some kind of advice or something that was useful for you, that helped you learn Spanish in a better way, or more efficiently, or something that helped you more than anything else. What would you say to my English students? What would
Yeah,
you say?
definitely for me, what helped me was to force myself to think in Spanish when I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to learn Spanish. Um, like when you like make sure all of your thoughts are in that language. If you're learning English, always try to think in English, because then, you know, you'll come across a lot of words that you probably wouldn't learn otherwise, or would take you a lot longer to learn.
And I think it helps you get the habit of, you know, making
Right.
English a part of your life, daily life, and also makes you aware of what things you already know and what things you still don't know.
Exactly.
That brings questions to you. So then you need to find out, you know, because you discover that when you wanted to say something you didn't know. So you look it up, you ask, you find out, right? So I suggest that many times, you know, like try to think in English. I know it's not easy, but that is a very good.
I know people probably say it a lot, but it's really helpful. I mean, even for people that maybe speak English a lot, they think they know English really well. I'm sure they do, but even then, like, it helps to always kind of force yourself to think in the other language.
And there's always things you don't know.
Right. Oh, definitely.
There's always something more.
For me now, I need to do better at it. I try to speak in Spanish sometimes, or try to think in Spanish. And I realized that there are a lot of words that I feel like I knew, but I've just kind of forgotten. So it's a good way to keep kind of refreshing.
And this is something else that which is what you're doing, like keeping in touch, you know, with people, like with me or any other, like so that you have an excuse to use Spanish sometimes, because sometimes even though we both speak English, sometimes we speak in Spanish. You know, when you came here, we're using Spanish quite a lot, and it's part of the idea. You know, it's one way to practice, best way to practice, really, having real conversations with people.
Definitely.
Exactly. So that is good for you too. Well, it's been a pleasure, and we've been talking about having this interview for a long time. I'm really glad that we finally made it. We made it happen.
It's been crazy the last couple months, so I'm glad it.
I know, and that's why I appreciate it even more that you took the time, you accepted to have this interview. It means a lot to me, and I'm really, really glad that I got to meet you and that we are still in contact in spite of, even though it's been a while, you know, I quite enjoy talking to you. You're an interesting person to talk to, you know.
Thanks, Matthias.
You're very welcome. It's an honor for me. So thanks again for accepting to do this interview with me. When the video is finally edited, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to send you the link and everything so you can watch it.
Awesome.
And I hope you like it. I promise I'm going to do the best I can. All right.
Make sure my hair looks good when you
next time. No, just kidding. You're fine. And I hope you can come visit again sometime soon.
I hope so.
And we can
definitely hope so.
We can get to hang out a little bit more and have some more ice cream and maybe more Eurovision. Okay.
Maybe I'll be back next summer for Eurovision, or I guess your winter. Next winter for you.
It has to be in May. It's always in May, so think about like around that time. Okay.
All right.
It's been great to see you once again.
Good to see you too, Matthias.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All righty.
See you. Bye bye. See ya.